Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Kabuswe and I'm a grade 11 pupil in Lusaka, Zambia, particularly in Matelo constituency. So, I'm going to talk about stroke. So, stroke is defined as a neurological disorder characterized by a blockage of a blood vessel or a sudden interruption of blood supply to the brain. Since blood transports oxygen to all parts of the body, including the brain, this means that the brain cells will lack oxygen, thereby making them die automatically. And brain cells die if they lack oxygen approximately after 3 good minutes. Besides that, I'll also talk about the general causes of stroke. One of the causes of stroke is atherosclerosis. How does atherosclerosis cause stroke? For example, when a person is smoking cigarette, that cigarette contains tobacco, which contains nicotine, an addictive drug which has the ability to irritate or to inflame the innermost layer of the artery, which is the tunica intima, which contains endothelial cells, thereby forming a plaque which becomes the site for atherosclerosis. Another cause of stroke is bacterial meningitis. Meningitis is the inflammation of the meninges, and meninges, these are membranes that protect the brain from mechanical damage, and these are dura mater, arachnoid, and pia mater. So, the space that is found between the arachnoid and the pia mater, that's where the cerebrospinal fluid is found, and that's where the subarachnoid space is. And the type of bacterial meningitis that cause stroke is pneumococcal meningitis. Pneumococcal meningitis is the swelling or the vasogenic edema of the meninges that is caused by a bacteria known as Streptococcus pneumoniae. Another cause of stroke is hyperhomocysteinemia. So, hyperhomocysteinemia, it is a condition of vitamin B12 or cyanocobalamin deficiency that comes as a result of higher levels of homocysteine in the blood, which irritate the innermost layer of the artery, thereby forming a plaque which will become an interruption for blood circulation. I'll also talk about the effects of stroke. So, one of the effects of stroke is that it causes xanthochromia. So, xanthochromia is the yellowish appearance of the cerebrospinal fluid that comes as the result of the presence of bilirubin. Another effect of stroke is that it causes cerebellar and diastrodocockinesia ataxia, which is the inability of muscles to move. Another effect of stroke is dysarthria. So, dysarthria is simply a speech sound disorder characterized by a blockage of a blood vessel to your brain. So, I also talk about the circle of Willis. As we can see, this is the chart showing us the circle of Willis. So, the circle of Willis was discovered by Thomas Willis. The circle of Willis, it is also known as the Saccharis anteriosus, and it is located within the interpendicular fossa. So the circle of Willis is made up of parts such as anterior communicating artery, anterior cerebral artery, ophthalmic artery, anterior medial central artery, internal carotid artery, medial cerebral artery, posterior communicating artery, posterior medial central artery, posterior cerebellar artery, superior cerebellar artery, basilar artery, pontine artery, anterior inferior cerebellar artery, labyrinthine artery, This part is known as posterior inferior cerebellar artery, and lastly the vertebral artery. So when stroke attacks the anterior cerebral artery, the paralysis will occur on your legs and feet, meaning that it will affect the skeletal muscles that are found there. And when stroke attacks the medial cerebral artery, the paralysis will occur on your face, meaning that it affects the smooth muscles that are found there. And these are some of the muscles that can get affected, e.g., levator palpebrae, levator labii superioris, alecunans, depressor labii inferioris, buccinata, mentalis, frontalis, occipitofrontalis, to mention a few. And also, when stroke attacks the medial cerebral artery, the paralysis will also attack your arms and your fingers, meaning that it affects the skeletal muscles that are found there. And these are some of the muscles that can get affected, e.g., pronata teres, pronata quadratus, flexor digitorum profundus, flexor digitorum superficialis, to mention a few. And these anterior and this anterior inferior cerebellar artery supplies blood to the cerebellum, and the posterior inferior cerebellar artery supplies blood to the medulla oblongata. With that being articulated, please push that like button and subscribe to this channel.